receiver coach. He was at a good job. He was at Texas Southern University, which won 2 black national championships. We go back together at Morgan State, and he came over and he coaches our wideouts. You look at Tyrone Butterfield, Warren Hall, you know, those great receivers, lead and reception. So we got some coaches doing some great jobs, and I can never take my hat off to one coach's. Coach Russ Ehrenfeld, he coaches our offensive line, and last year our offensive line was pretty bad, and he has came in there and made our offensive line going to make us be a contender for the OVC.
You know, when you talk about the Tennessee State University athletic program and football program, now it's impossible to do that without talking about the Tennessee Oilers. And somehow I think most of us are sort of prone to say Houston Oilers, but the Tennessee Oilers. Now, what has that meant for the spirit? And I think the last time you were with us, we sort of broached this, but at the time we were running through a referendum as to whether or not the Oilers at that time would come to Nashville and whether or not they would build a stadium. But all those things are behind us, and all of those things have been completed. Right. Now, you can give us a sort of a real true statement in reference to, now, what does that mean in terms of the spirit? What have you noticed? Have you noticed at all any kind of different attitude that the young men have this year after having the Oilers out there for the summer, and what they were what you experienced the first time you got here?
Well, you know, like I always told you, and anybody asked me, and I'll be a man to admit, I'm a guy that I always felt that college football to be played on college campus because that's what it is. It's college football. But now it's grown to big business, and then you have to keep up, you know, with facility-wise and all that. And right now at Tennessee State, facility-wise, we wasn't in the market. You know, we wasn't in the race, and I think that's what happens to the school as far as recruiting. But now, since the Oilers came, I mean, it's given us going to give us a stadium that's state-of-the-art, which probably will, you know, help us be one of the best schools in the country now as far as recruiting and facility-wise. But what I think the Oilers coming to Tennessee State this past summer, I think what it did to Tennessee State is stop all the stereotype about Tennessee State, all the horror stories. If you come over at Tennessee State, this is going to happen to you, that's going to happen to you. This school has ran down buildings and all that, you know, because one day I was sitting in the stand, and there was a gentleman sitting beside me, and then once it was over, and there was a white guy, and we started walking back, and boy, he said, you know what, this is the first time I've been over at Tennessee State. He said, you know, I heard all these horror stories about coming over here and this and how the campus all ran down. He said, this is a beautiful campus. And I, you know, I thought that was pretty nice of the guy to say that. He said, you know what, I'm going to go back and tell the rest of the people, you know, in my office that, hey, they should come over to Tennessee State, watch football games, and support their program, because this is, I think, is a program on the rise. I think their stadium is nice. I think the campus is a beautiful stadium. So I think what that did for us is to open the campus up and open this part of the town up to everyone and say it is a safe part of the, you know, the town that you can come over and enjoy an athletic event, a concert, or anything, just like you can go down to Middle, Vanderbilt, or any other place.
And so it has had a tremendous impact upon what you do as the coach, and it has opened up Tennessee State University in a real sense, probably better, I think, as you're saying, than any other single event probably could have done. Just the fact that they do represent the National Football Conference, and, and they've got, and it's big money. Has it done anything in terms of your own budget?
Well, what it did is, you know, they came out and they kind of did the football field.
And let me interrupt you here, Coach. We've got about 7 seconds here before we end this break here, and then we'll get back and we'll talk about that. We'll be back with you following this.